Hi everyone, so welcome back to Jmeter training videos. In today's session we'll be discussing about further enhancements like how to do parameterization in Jmeter, and we'll do correlation and other stuff. Okay, so today's session the main focus will be on parameterization. How do we do parameterization in Jmeter? So already we recorded few scripts, right? Go to recent scripts and you can take any one of them. So I think we can use blaze demo 1.jmx. so it will open our script, and I think we executed this script last time, right? So let me execute one more time and see whether it is going to run properly or not. Okay, so just go ahead here. Before doing that, go to step group and make sure we have everything 111 user. So just run one time and we can see here one user is running. So blaze demo is passed and reservation and purchase also passed. Now it is waiting for confirmation. Yeah, so confirmation also passed. So it waits some time, right, because of this uniform random timer. Okay, so yeah, so the test is passed now. You see here the test is passed, so there is no errors. So if you see any errors, then we have to go ahead on that particular page and we have to see, we have go to that particular request and see if there any correlation values we have to do. Correlation values is nothing but the values which comes from the server side. Okay, not like the users, what user is entering, those are all called parameterization. The values which are coming from server side, like session ID, those values. So sometimes some values will be coming from server response, right? Even in this reservation page, the values which we are selecting, right, to port and from port, these values also server response, they will come from server response, but they will come as a drop down box. We can select any one of them. Either you can do correlation also to handle this, either you can do parameterization also. So either way it works. Okay, so let me go to application blaze demo. I can explain you very much like exactly what I mean by. Okay, so let it come. So here let's type blaze demo. Okay, once you get blazedemo.com, just enter it. So what it does is it will send the request to the server and you will get the response. In the response you will see the departure city, arrival city values, right? So it will take time, it is still loading. Okay, let it load. So now the request went and it is waiting for response. Yeah, so if you see here, now the response, it came from server, right? These values we are not entering. Actually these values comes from server. Okay, these values we have to do, either you can do parameterization, even you can do correlation. What happened? Why it's not showing? Come on, there is some issue with my laptop, so nothing is showing. Okay, let me try again. If it's not coming, then we will use another browser. This has some issue. Okay, let me go ahead and use Firefox. This has something issue, something went wrong. We are having okay, so it is having some issue. So let me use Firefox. Okay, so in Firefox I can show you how the values cancel what happened. So now we can search here blaze demo. No, not now. Okay, so Blaze demo. Okay, so just enter this one. What it does is it will send the request to the server and you will get the response, right? The response you will get the values. Okay, see, Paris, Philadelphia, Boston, Portland, San Diego, Mexico City, and Polo. In the destination cities also you will see different values. See, so these values either you can do them correlation because they are coming from server response. How do you check those values? Go here in view results. If you send this request you will get response, right? Go to response data and you should find them those values. If you go little down you should see those values. See, select from port, these are the values. Okay, and we have this is select to port, these are the values. So if you want to do parameterization, just go here and copy these values. Okay, so let me select, I will select both the values. Okay, let's go to notepad. No need to enter manually, anyway those are coming from server response, right? So just remove, yeah, already this is also there, right? So just select option value equal to and control H and find replace all with empty. Okay, so now you don't want anything, right? Just remove this. Like this you can create them. Okay, just okay, so we will take only 3-4 values. We no need to take everything. You can take how many values you want. So for now I am more interested on just to show you guys how it works. So I am going to show only with 3 values. Okay, so this one we will keep it as, what is this one? Departure city, right? Just give proper name, depart city, arrival city. Okay, depart city Paris, then arrival city, right? So arrival city is this one. Just keep with comma. So next one is Philadelphia, Rome. One this one, one that value, one arrival city, one this city. Okay, just enter Boston. You can give any combination, it is not necessary you have to select always anything. Okay, comma, or you can have separate files as well. You can do in different formats. Okay, you can have them in both in different arrival city in one file and departure city in one file, and make it random also. Okay, for now I am going to do this way. Boston is done. So now I am going to take Portland. Okay, take Portland, Bedrain. Okay, so I am going to take only these values, remaining all I am going to remove them. Okay, just save. So before saving here you have to save it as a CSV file. Okay, so I am going to save it in desktop. Okay, so select type, all types. Okay, here you can make double quotation. What you can take something like cities. Okay, cities dot CSV. Okay, so just give cities.csv. It should save as a CSV file. Let's go ahead and see here. See, if you go here it should be a CSV file. Let's open that CSV file, make sure everything is proper. Yeah, see, we see here it has come in two columns. Okay, one is departure city in arrival city. Okay, so we are good for now, so no need to save, just click cancel. Now go here, and now to do parameterization we have to add this one. Either you can add either at plan level or config element. We have to add, always add in the test plan level. Okay, so go to config element, there is CSV data set config, right? Select this one. Okay, so CSV data set config, and you can write some comment if you want. Okay, so if you want you can write, otherwise you can no need to write. Okay, so now go to browse, and my file is available at desktop. Okay, go to desktop, and cities, right? So cities.csv. okay, so variable comma delimiter, right? So variable names comma delimited, and ignore first line because these are all variable names, right? So ignore first line, only use if variables names is not empty. Ignore first line means true because it's not false, right? In our case it should ignore first line, so keep it as first line because we have used variable names. Okay, if you see my this one CSV file, first name, first row we have used departure city, arrival city, those are names, right? So ignore first line, yes, ignore it. So here we have to enter variable names. Okay, comma delimiter. So what is the variable name we want to pass? Departure city. You no need to enter same name here, you can write even different way, but this name you have to pass it in everywhere. Departure city comma arrival city, right? Arrival city. Okay, if you see here D is small, here D is capital. So this is Jmeter variable name, this is CSV file variable name. Okay, so don't get confused with that. You can even keep it same name also, but I am just telling you, you may think it both needs to be same values, but it doesn't. Okay, these are all only Jmeter values. Okay, so delimiter we are using comma because when we created CSV file initially, you might be observed in notepad I have used comma delimiter. Okay, so use comma. Allow quoted data, so we are not using any quoted data, right? So we are not using double quotations. If you are using double quotations, then you can use true, allow quoted data. Okay, so sometimes what happens is if you are using Paris in double quotes, that is quoted data, right? So if you want to use that one along with that, then use true. Here we are not using any quoted data, then use false. Recycle and end of file, yes, we have to reuse these values, right? More than one time because these are not unique. You can use n number of times this departure cities, arrival cities based on our requirement. In our case these values can be used n number of times. Yes, you can keep this one true. Stop thread on end of file, no, so don't stop my thread after end of file. End of file means, let's say first iteration it is taking, first user is coming, it will take first value, second user coming, second value, or it may take first value also. Likewise it will start. Okay, once it reach end of file means after sixth one there is no data. What it has to do, that is what it is asking here, what it has to do after reaching this end of file. Okay, so it has to repeat the same values, right? So don't give false, always keep true if you want to reuse them. Whenever you are using unique data, if you in that case you want to reach end of file, if you want the thread needs to be stopped, and you can give false. In our case that same values can be repeated multiple times, so stop thread on end of file will be always true. Sharing mode, all threads. So let's save this data, all threads can save this data, right? So do this way. So now we are no need with that file. So now we have created the CSV file. Okay, even the best way is you always move this one here. Okay, so that way it will be very good. And now we are good, and go ahead and save this. Now I want to replace this value. Copy this same name what you mentioned here, go to so here to city, right? So go here, make dollar, okay, you know, dollar parameter, parenthesis open, parenthesis close. This is the way you have to replace your actual values with parameterization values. Okay, so then you have to use the other one, right? Arrival city. Copy this one also, go to your place where you want to replace, just enter dollar curly braces open, curly braces close. So same way you can check wherever you want. Here also we are passing, right? So remove here as well, because here also it's important. So here we already copied Philadelphia, right? Arrival city. So go here, dollar arrival city, dollar departure city, right? This time. So go and copy departure city. Okay, so go to reservation, not reservation, purchase.php and replace with departure city. Even you can check here also. Here there is no data, only it is passing in purchase page and this one. Okay, here, yeah, now I can tell you one thing. Now here you have to do correlation, because if you see here in real time, if I am using Philadelphia and different ones, sorry, so this is departure city, right? Okay, this should be reverse in our case. See, you see. Okay, let me go to this one. Okay, this was Philadelphia, right? Previously, from port to port, from port will be departure city. Okay, so always remember, here we did mistake. From port should be departure city, to port will be arrival city. So to port is arrival city, right? So but I copied in different way. Okay, so here also we have to do, from port is departure city, just copy this one, paste here and copy this guy and paste this is very important. You should be very careful while replacing values. This from city is departure city, to city is arrival city. Okay, same thing, from city is departure city, to city is arrival city. Okay, so both were good. Now let me go ahead here and I will show you. So first, when we recorded, the values are Buenos Airlines to Philadelphia, right? So find flights. You see here, again it is taking time because it has to go to server and it has to validate and it has to come back the response. Okay, there you will get list of flights, right? In the list of flights we selected any one of the random flight. If you go to next flight, the flight numbers entirely will changes, right? See, we selected this flight 43 and the value is this one, right? So if you go to next flight, let's say I am going back, this time instead of Philadelphia I want to go to Paris. Click on find flight. This time you won't get same flight number, it will be different flight number. This is called dynamic value. See, here it is always static because they did not do proper correlation, because they kept everything as a static values. In this case our application may work because 43 472. Let me change even departure city as well, the destination city as well. Okay, see, every time this value not changing, so you no need to worry much. If it is changing, then only we should be worried. Then you have to do your correlation properly, otherwise it won't work. For in our case it is always static. Okay, so this is the way we have to do our this one. Okay, so now we are good, and even you no need to do correlation for this one. Even if you want, in next session I will show you how to do this one also, correlation, because we have 4 values, right? Whenever you click find the threads, you are getting 1 2 3 4 5 6 values. You have to select any one of the value randomly. In that case, how do? You have to do correlation, and you have to do this one random value. Okay, this I can show you how to handle this one later. For now we are good, because these values are not changing anyway. We are for this session I am going to keep them as static values. So in next session I will show you guys how to do this one change randomly. Okay, so now we did CSV config dataset parameter for using parameterization for files. If you want to use usernames, passwords, or you want to pass some huge data in a file, then you must use CSV dataset config element. There is no other option to use. Okay, so you must go with this way. So if you want to use random value or date and time, then we can use Jmeter functions. For file type, always you have to go with CSV data config file. Okay, in some interviews they may ask you how do you do parameterization if there is a file, then which type of file it is going to support, CSV format. Okay, so remember the file going to support is CSV format, and the element config element you have to use CSV dataset config. Once you do all these changes, then you have to replace the values what you mentioned here as a names. Okay, departure city, arrival city, the same names you have to replace here. Okay, so now we are good, and let's rerun our script and see. This time what I will do is I will run for 4 to 5 iterations. Let's go and see how many values we have in our application. We'll see. First we will run with one user and see how the values are going, and we will see with 2 users and we will see how the values are going. Okay, so there are 5 values. First I will run for 5 iterations, and we can understand how the values are going. The values should go sequentially. First iteration this one, second iteration, third, fourth, fifth iteration, sixth iteration there is no value, sixth, so it will go to again Paris, 7, 8, 9. So likewise it will keep on repeating for remaining iterations. So let's go ahead and change to 5 iterations. So where to change? Loop count should be 5. Okay, now let's go ahead and run this. So now you should get 5 different values. Okay, see, this is the request, right? So let's go to request, and you can see what values it is sending. See, Venice to Paris. Okay, again you can see reservation, Rome to Philadelphia. So this one, to Port London from Port Boston. Okay, so this one Berlin and Portland. If you see all the reservation request, again see it is going for Berlin, Paris. So like this it is keep on changing, because I gave 5 iterations but the actual values we are having is only 4. Okay, the 5th iteration again it is taking same thing, Berlin, Portland. Okay, so like this. So now you guys should be very clear like how the values are going, right? So that is the way it is taking. So we are good, right? So how the values are going? Arrival city this values, departure city this value. Okay, so that way we have to do the parameterization. Now we can see them, all the values are going or not. Even purchase page also we can see how the values are going, Paris. Okay, even purchase page also you can see how the values are going, and if it is coming tick mark means you are getting proper response. Okay, so there is no issue. Okay, this way you can do parameterization in Jmeter. And let me run with 2 users this time, and we will see how the values will be going. Okay, so let's keep thread count as 2, and I cleared. my results and let's go ahead and run them. Okay, see this user reservation. Let's go to request body. See what it is selecting, Rome, Philadelphia. So this is second value. First user took first value, second user took second value. Let's go with again, see London. Okay, so how they are going is, first user took this value, second user took this value, again first user took this value, second user took this value, likewise. Okay, first value takes this one, second values, it will be sharing mode. Okay, so you can see this way. Again you can see here. Okay, so they both are using both the values. So likewise they are taking and they are reusing these values. Okay, so this way we have to run our script, and this is the way we have to use for file type. This is only we are in this session we discussed about how to do parameterization for file type, like username, password passing. If you want to pass like departure city, arrival city, and different values. Even in the purchase page, let's say in confirmation page, you want to pass every time different values, then you should have this many values in a file. Okay, for this also you can have a big file, and where you can have input name and state and everything in big Excel file, CSV file, and then you can create this same way and do it and try by yourself. If you are not able to do it, just message me in YouTube and I will reply to you. Okay, with proper answer. Okay, if you are not able to do. Okay, so this is the way we should do parameterization for file type. Thanks for watching for today's session. In next session we will be doing different formats, like how to do parameterization for date and time, how to do parameterization for random values, if you want to pass some unique number. Okay, how do we do? Okay, those things we can do in next session. Okay, in this session we discussed how to do parameterization using CSV data config file. Okay, for file types, and how to replace those values we have used this way. Okay, so we have to use dollar and curly brace and the value. Okay, so this is the way, simplest way we can do parameterization in Jmeter. So thanks for watching once again. See you in next session. Please do let others know. Please do subscribe my videos if you do like them. See you in next session guys. Bye.